Alright, so we are going to continue with Mass Effect here. We only kind of just barely got started last time with the actual gameplay. Mostly did a lot of talking and then did a little bit of the initial combat. Oh yeah. So, as we kind of showed last time, the ammo situation in this game works a little bit differently. You don't really have the conventional ammo. Everything works like on a heat buildup system. Now, that said, they do change that back to conventional ammo once we get to the Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 games. But we'll see more about that then. I'll have my own thoughts on that sort of thing. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing with abilities in this one. I mean, they're a lot more, I guess we could say, like, you know, line of sight thing. One thing that they definitely kind of were able to. Oh wow. Oh yeah, and that's kind of funny thing. Sometimes, like, especially with the tech powers, if you use them on something and it doesn't actually land, you'll just get like these tech mine discs that just are left floating in the air, and you can even do that with grenades too. If they don't explode right away, you can just sort of see them.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
You think anyone got out of here alive?
If they were lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Oh yeah, I think...
Change of plans, Shepard.
Oh.
There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
Yeah. Let's see what we have here. Don't really care about the shotgun. I don't think the assault rifle is really going to be any better, but I can gel that later. So yeah, as I think I alluded to in the first segment, and I can actually do that and protection. Oh yeah, I want to upgrade warp, and I can get myself barrier here. And we'll throw some points into damage. Always fun trying to spec out. Let's see. Oh yeah, can't get there yet. That's the thing. Like, you can't instantly max out one thing. You get more. You get access to higher levels of different towns the more you level up. And let's see, we can boost that. So we'll get you up to that, and we'll give you overload. Yeah. And that just, those things always just sort of update as you get along to better updates. Oh yeah, and I don't think, let me just, okay, yeah, Avenger. So we can have her upgrade to that assault rifle, since she's the one actually using
Looks like
those.
we hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up.
So now we get to see what the deal is with when they putting the colonists on the spikes.
Oh God!
Look at that! Gets to get turned into these electronic zombies.
Do to them.
The husks are really interesting. You know, they turn around like zombies. Oh yeah, and that's also. Yeah, and then if they get close to you, they just let off a big. Yeah, just like that big electronic kind of burst there. Absolutely crazy, right? Okay, so let's see. We have crates. Yeah, and sometimes you'll have ones that don't actually, you know, require any additional yeah, we didn't get any upgrades yet, so we'll just leave that alone. But yeah, they don't necessarily require any additional like talents like decryption or electronics to open. But then you'll have some of these, and then it's basically just a play Simon Says game. And like how many buttons you have to press will depend on what level it is. If it's easy, normal, or hard level decryption.
Hurry! Close the door before they come back.
What are you doing here?
I'm Dr. Warren. I was in charge of this excavation. We hid in the shed during the attack. They must have come for the beacon. Luckily, it wasn't here. It was moved to the spaceport earlier this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. 1 second we were gathering up our equipment. The next we were hiding in the shed while the Geth swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the destroyers, bringers of darkness, heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network. Remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please. This isn't the time.
And of course,
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack.
That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy before the attack. He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry. Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction rushing towards us? To understand there is no escape? No hope? No. I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
Okay, so you can do, if you want to be, you know, like, kind of mean, if you do that, you'll end up punching
Williams,
him
take
out.
us to the spaceport.
You can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. Night is falling. The darkness of eternity.
Hush, Manuel. Go lie down. You'll feel better once the medication kicks in.
Yeah, so you can keep in mind like some of his you know, kind of ranting and raving there might seem a little bit more, you know, intriguing in a minute.
Saren. Nihilus. This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Oh yeah. So this is always cool. Yeah, just seeing big ship, and then yeah, you can just watch this thing fly off into space pretty much like a. I mean, you consider spawn. I mean, you'll see this thing go all the way up the sky and just let it take off. I mean, yeah, that goes all the way out there, and then forget exactly what. Yeah, it's the point. Yep, there it goes. But yeah, so yeah, we get to see our first look at good old Saren. One kind of interesting thing, and it was one thing I thought that might possibly get updated when they did the remaster here. Originally, he wasn't supposed to have that, like, kind of like, oh look, we have like already have the tech part with like designs and the arm and stuff like that. Like that was actually supposed to be, like changes that would show up later, but I guess in the original, they didn't really have they never really did like a original model version of him. They always just had the same model. So it is one thing that I thought they might have changed since they did a lot of visual updates with the remaster, but it just didn't happen. Okay.
Everybody stay calm out there. We're coming out. We're not armed.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
We took care of them.
Those things were crawling all around the shed. They would have found us for sure. We owe you our lives.
I still can't believe it. When we saw that ship, I thought it was all over.
It showed up right before the attack. Knew it was trouble the second I saw it, so we made a break for the sheds.
Tell me everything you remember about the attack.
The three of us were working the crops when that ship showed up. We just saw it and ran. I don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
They were by the garage, over near the spaceport, right where that ship came down. No way they survived.
You don't know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting chance.
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
I was too busy running to get a clear look at it. I think it landed over near the spaceport.
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
It was emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. Only it was coming from inside your own head.
It was probably trying to block communications.
Whatever it was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible to think.
See some more ominous foreshadowing here.
Do you know anything about the Prothean beacon they dug up?
We're just farmers. We heard they found something out there, but it never really mattered to us. Not until now.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
You have something to tell me, Cole?
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring. Nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
You're breaking the law, Cole.
We're not hurting anybody. Hell, most of the time I don't even know what's in the packages. Just thought there might be something we could use. I found a pistol. Figured it would come in handy if those things came back. But you'll probably get more use out of it than we will.
And I think, the first chance you see, like, our charm ups and stuff, depending if you have your points in charm or intimidate, you can get these special dialogue options.
We're risking our lives to save this colony. You sure there's nothing else in here that could help us out?
Yeah, there's one more thing. I was gonna sell it after this was over, but you probably deserve it more than I do.
Who's your contact at the spaceport, Cole? What's his name?
He's not a bad guy. I don't want to get him in trouble. Besides, I'm not a snitch.
He might have something to do with this whole attack, Cole. We need his name. It's important.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
Like it?
His name's Powell.
Yeah, it feels like a little bit of a stretch, but it works for getting your information. Yes, this random guy, he's the one that's responsible for the guests showing up and, and all that, but...
I have to go.
Good luck.
Yeah, combat sensor. So especially with the Geth, you can get into later things where your radar thing will be jammed. If you have high enough level combat sensor, you can avoid that. Although I don't find that to be annoying enough to ever really bother with that as a necessary upgrade on any of my weapons, and eventually we'll get some nice upgrades we can throw on there. Oh yeah, and here we can get one of these item crates that actually you have to do the hacking minigame for. Now with that, one kind of I'm not going to bother with sniper rifle. I can get better ones later too. Yeah, with the hacking minigame, one thing that was interesting in the original version of the game, there was a glitch you could kind of exploit. So whenever you loaded up your game, whichever level you...
It's Nihilus.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We'll get to you in a second, buddy. But yeah, whichever version, like easy level or hard, that you did first. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, we'll take both those. Yeah, whichever version you did first, like that would be the level for like all subsequent versions of the game. So you could exploit it. So when you load up your game, start by doing an easy level one, and all of them will be easy level. I mean, not that they're necessarily difficult, but it kind of makes it quicker because it's just it just changes how many buttons you need to match up before you can win the actual game. Yeah, we'll give. Actually, no. Since Ashley is using the assault rifle, we'll let her have the hammerhead rounds. She'll get a little bit more value out of that.
Something's moving over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
Sneaking up on us like that nearly got you killed.
I'm sorry, I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
You're saying Nihilus was murdered by a Turian?
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend showed up. He called him Saren. I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
How come you're the only one who survived? Why didn't anyone else try to hide behind the crates?
They never had a chance. I was already behind the crates when the attack started.
Wait a minute. You were hiding behind the crates before the attack?
Sometimes I need a nap to get through my shift. I sneak off behind the crates to grab 40 winks where the supervisor can't find me.
You survived because you're lazy?
See? Work smarter, not harder, right?
If you hadn't snuck off for that nap, you'd probably be dead just like all the others.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really want to think about it.
It was kind of funny, like, yeah, it's somehow like being napping. They weren't really too. The guys apparently weren't too thorough investigating the area. Not to see this guy just like, oh, I'm just hiding behind a box sleeping.
You're Cole's contact here on the docks for the smuggling ring.
What? No! I mean, what does it matter now? So I'm a smuggler, who cares? My supervisor's dead, the entire crew's dead. Doesn't matter now, does it?
Anything hidden nearby that we could use against the Geth?
A shipment of grenades came through last week. Nobody notices if a few small pieces go missing from the military orders.
You greedy son of a bitch. We're out here trying to protect your sorry ass, and all you can think about is how you can rip us off?
I never thought you'd actually need those grenades. Who'd want to attack Eden Prime? We're just a bunch of farmers. How was I supposed to know?
Forget about him. He's not worth it.
You're lucky the commander's here, pal. Hand over those grenades.
They're yours. Take them. My smuggling days are over, I swear.
A lot of Marines died here, Powell. Those grenades could have come in handy. If I were you, I'd think of some way to make it up to them.
Yeah, okay. There is something else I was saving. Could be worth a fortune. Experimental technology, top of the line. Take it. I don't need it. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Really, I'm sorry.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all this.
Yeah, that's our experimental technology, top of the line. Never mind that, yeah, we go to sell that and it's basically worth next to nothing. But hey, that's your gameplay and story segregation type situation. No, stop switching my weapon to something else. Alright. Now we get a little bit more action again. So, yeah, overload you. Oh yeah, and since we have our nice chemical rounds, when you kill somebody with some of those, they can dissolve into a nice green radioactive ooze. One thing they did update with the weapons, I mean, they left basically the combat mostly as it was. Like, everything works basically how it does in the original version of the game, but with some of the weapons, they did update. I mean, functionally, in the original version of the game, everything weapon-wise works mostly the same. It just kind of has different stats. But in the updated version here, like, there's some that'll like have different firing levels. But they might some weapons might have like a 3-round burst or something like that. Mostly in terms of pistols, like you'll have some updates. Like a lot of the other ones, mostly it's still just going to come down to a visual difference. Yep, there you go. Ah, fall off. So it was a small update, but it was kind of a nice one just to give a tiny bit more variety.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
Yeah, no evidence except apparently you're just going to leave a huge hulking crater if you're planning to blow everything up. It's probably still suspicious, I would think. Not to mention, like, you know, all kinds of other Geth paraphernalia and stuff that we've left hanging around. But that's alright. Now, in terms of the remastered edition, Mass Effect 1 definitely got
demolition charges. The Geth must have planted
the bulk of the upgrades.
Hurry! We need to find them all
and
shut
it's
them
fair
down.
enough because, like, in terms of like graphics and things like that, like Mass Effect 1 definitely needed the most in terms of updating. Like, if you go back and look at the original you know, Xbox 360 version of the game, I mean, it was really not very well optimized. Oh yeah, they're the, you know, those shield things that they put up. Unfortunately, the time they give you is really way more than enough. Oh yeah, see, there we go. You can see the radar jam. So I mean, again, you know, you could realistically you know, get rid of that if I put on the combat scanner ability, but you know, I'm not really ever in a position where I really ever worry about, oh, I can't see exactly how many enemies. Yeah, just keep going. If someone's firing at you, and just get rid of them, right? Alright, so, ooh, we got some more armor options here. I think by the time I get to actually having heavy armor, I won't really need that anymore. Alright, and we'll take that just in case. Again, and it's also kind of random, depending on enemies you face, you'll get like these random item drops here. So, let's see. I'm not going to worry about those. Gonna upgrade Kaiden's armor here. Yeah, let's see. You should be able to finish off this particular section of the game here. That's the other thing with the throws. I mean, if you don't get it lined up perfectly right, sometimes it can just miss. You see that kind of change with subsequent versions of the game. Alright, so that takes care of all the it takes care of all the extra enemies around here. And oh yeah, I was gonna say, you know, there's a box around here. Couldn't find that for some reason. Alright, and let's see, we can... Oh yeah, shield generator. You could definitely use that. Yeah, I guess one thing, since I played before, obviously, and once you get like certain achievements and what have you, well, at least I think it still works on the achievements like it did in the original game. Like, but either way, you can sort of get automatic upgrades to where I get like auto health regeneration. No, we don't need that. We'll just get some Omni Gel. And of course, some classes you can get extra health regeneration anyway. Let's see, what else item-wise can we pick up in here? Recoil damper, more chemical. I don't worry about super low-level items. Yeah, we'll let you have the chemical rounds. Again, the sprint mechanic there, now that's one other thing that they also updated. Ooh, Krogan armor, or foreshadowing. So this is just a tiny little fun cutscene. Like, it's really easy to miss this one. I did not figure this one out for the longest time. Like, if you just walk up to there, you get to see where Sovereign landed there. Alright, so let's go investigate our beacon.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is amazing. Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up. Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Yeah, the interesting thing with this one is this cutscene actually changes a little bit depending on if you're playing as male Shep or female Shep. So, like, if I'd be playing as Femme Shep, it'll actually be Kaiden that goes up there and starts getting sucked in by the beacon there. It's kind of also like a mechanic that potentially triggers if you want to start like a romance path with one of them, because like, hey, you saved them from the beacon. Oh yeah, get ready to get familiar with those vision flashes we saw. We're going to get to see those quite a few times here.
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy, a human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
This human must be eliminated.
Now the funny thing is that this human must be eliminated, although, as we'll find out, they don't really take a very proactive approach in actually targeting.
Dr. Chakwas, I think he's waking up.
But, we'll see. But it's kind of funny. It's like, oh, yeah, you feel like that's going to be a priority, but surprisingly, it's not.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
Minor throbbing. Nothing serious. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
You had no way to know what would happen.
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off. Unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. The blast knocked you cold. The lieutenant and I carried you back here to the ship.
What's the damage, Doctor?
Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity.
Oh, you still kind of have it left in there. You could hear that little bit of wrestling. I think the popular opinion's like that's the voice actor flipping over script pages from the reading.
I saw. I'm not sure what I saw. Death, destruction. Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may. Oh. Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you. In private.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
I don't like soldiers dying under my command.
Jenkins wasn't your fault. You did a good job, Shepard.
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
Chief Williams isn't part of the Normandy crew.
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
Williams is a good soldier. She deserves it.
Lieutenant Alenko agrees with you. That's why I added her to our crew.
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
I didn't do anything wrong, Captain. Hopefully the Council can see that.
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best. A living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
Why?
He thinks we're growing
very blunt,
fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of
Why?
aliens think that way. Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
Yeah, either one of these is basically going to give you the same
Just
dialogue
before I
here.
lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
Yeah, again, all these are, it's one of those things. You get dialogue options, but they're all, this one, it's all the same.
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
And I think this is another one, it doesn't really matter which one.
What are we going to tell them? I had a bad dream?
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology? Blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction? Whatever it was. Saren took it. but I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy.
Yeah, so I think all three of those were basically the same one, and that's like one thing I noticed
on our side.
Especially once we get to...
We prove Saren's gone rogue, and the Council will revoke his Spectre
once we get to Mass Effect 3, there was some grumbling about like auto dialogue where you didn't get to pick it just with Shepard would talk, so there wasn't enough picking options. Although
tell Joker to bring us
it basically was taking this thing instead of like, okay, well he's going to say the same line no matter what. Now it'll, it just kind of goes for it. I think honestly that would probably work for the better because it just let conversations flow a little bit better.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive, I might not be here.
You're a good soldier, Williams. You belong on the Normandy.
Thanks, Commander. I appreciate that.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander.
And now, Foundship gets actually to have also a conversation with Delanco. Once again, it's kind of like it builds the starting blocks of like the romance path, if you want. So again, it's nothing too major, but it's just like one of those little things. Since she saves Delanco, you get that little extra conversation with him at the very beginning there. Alright, so we can go ahead and I'm going to say we'll get ourselves basically to the,
good timing,
we'll get ourselves basically to the Citadel here, and then we can call that for a segment. It's our very cool, epic cutscene of, like, getting to the Citadel here. It's like, for traveling through the nebula clouds here. And sort of, I can just see all the little ships there in the background before we get the big reveal here of the Citadel. Great soundtrack. I love the soundtrack.
Look at the size of that ship.
The Ascension, flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower, too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side, then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
Alright, so, yeah, at least kind of gets you auto to the Citadel here.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus
It's
system.
interesting here, in the subtitles here they updated so it actually gives the names for the counselors.
What about Saren?
It just kind of has like a, counselor, like a sorry counselor, or whatever, but they actually name drops in here, because other than that, I don't think they really get properly name dropped until, I think, Mass Effect 3, honestly.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
Saren's a threat to every human colony out there. He needs to be stopped. The Council has to listen to us.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not his.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
Yeah, you speak for us all, Ashley. Alright, so we will go ahead and more or less just call it here. So it's basically we're now doing the part 2 of the prologue, although, again, kind of more talky stuff. And then eventually, I promise we'll get a little bit more free reign in terms of where we get to go and stuff. But you know, that's kind of thing. There's a lot of world building stuff to set up with the game. But all right, so yeah, next time we're gonna do stuff like talk with the Council, and there's actually quite a few things we can get done here on the Citadel before we kind of finish up with the whole prologue thing. So, all right, yeah, and that'll be all kinds of new exciting things in the next time. So, till then, see everybody.